Let's go back to AI, if you don't mind. So you were involved in the project that Sam Altman runs, OpenAI?
I was one of the principal co-founders of OpenAI. In fact, I named it.
Yeah. So what the hell happened?
It was my idea.
What happened?
The origins of OpenAI are that I was very close with Larry Page, who's one of my best friends, and in fact, I'd stay at his house because I'd spend half the week in the Bay Area running Tesla and half in LA running SpaceX. And for the longest time, I never even had a house in the Bay Area. I would just stay at friends' places. If they had a spare room, I'd stay there. If they didn't, I'd sleep on the couch. And I found it actually to be
I think it's very funny that you stayed on the couch. I think that's very funny.
Yeah. I don't stay on the couch that often, but it was. But I didn't have a house for more than a decade, so I would just rotate through friends' places, which is a great way to catch up with friends.
Yeah, right, right.
And so I would have these conversations with Larry Page long into the night about AI safety, and I just grew increasingly concerned that Larry was not sufficiently concerned about AI safety. And at one point, he did call me a speciesist.
Yes, you are one.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's, I guess, correctly labeled.
Yes.
And he's not going to be on Team Human who is. So that was the final straw, really. And I was like, okay, we really need some new AI company to serve as a counterbalance to Google, because at the time they had almost all of the great AI researchers. They had massive computing power, massive financial resources. And it was very much a unipolar world with respect to AI.
Right.
And a unipolar world controlled by Larry Page and who had, I thought, somewhat misanthropic views about humans, or at least certainly insufficiently concerned about what might happen to the humans. So that was the basis for creating OpenAI. Now,
yeah, that's actually a real problem. Like, insufficiently concerned with the humans, that's a problem.
Yes, and has all the AI power. So
yeah, right.
That troubled me, and so I thought, well, what would be the opposite of Google? Would be a nonprofit that is open source, so you can see what's going on, not a black box.
Yeah.
And that was not. Wasn't forced by sort of market incentives to make as much money as possible. So OpenAI was started as a non-profit open source. And the open in OpenAI refers to open source.
Yeah. So why were you concerned? Profit motive warping things at that point?
Well, at least. Well, I think this perhaps is particularly a challenge for publicly traded companies. You just get sued if you don't maximize profits. Mm-hmm. The shareholders, you'll get a shareholder class action lawsuit.
Yeah.
That will force you to maximize profits.
Yeah. So you thought that you thought a for-profit system might tilt the development of AI in directions that were short-term profit motivated instead of cracking the fundamental problem, something like that.
Yeah, and like I could be wrong about a lot of these things, but that's what I thought at the time, and I wanted to create something that I thought would be the polar opposite of Google, which is obviously a for-profit and closed source.
Centralized, yeah.
Centralized, and you don't get to see what's going on. And that was the basis for OpenAI. And we, recruited a lot of key people. I was instrumental in recruiting Ilya Sutskever, who, without him, OpenAI would not be where it is today.
Elias?
Yeah, Ilya Sutskever. Ilya.
Maybe a good
pretty famous guy in AI. And Ilya's also the guy that I thought at OpenAI who had the strongest moral compass. Cared the most about doing the right thing. So it was troubling to see him get ousted from OpenAI. He sort of was part of a coup to exit Sam Altman, the CEO.
Yeah, right.
And when that coup somehow got turned around, and then Ilya was in fact exited from OpenAI. And OpenAI is now really trying to maximize profit.
What happened?
I still am not sure. And I'm considering legal action here to say, like, how is it possible that that an organization is founded with the goal of being open source, nonprofit, and I provided almost all the money in the beginning, almost $50 million to get it going, with no stock. I have no stock or control or anything, and how is it possible to go from there to a company that's now allegedly worth over $100 billion, and seems to be maximizing profit, and is
it's a hell of a shift,
and it's not open source.
Right. So it's different than the original goal.
I would say this is it possibly more different? I'm not sure how you could be more different.
For a reason.
So I mean, this would be like, let's say you fund a nonprofit to preserve some part of the Amazon rainforest.
Yeah.
But instead, that nonprofit becomes a lumber company.
Right.
And chops down the forest and sells it. Now, you would think that seems...
Are you shocked by this? Are you shocked by what happened? Is that a...
Yes, I'm concerned about it, and I have voiced those concerns over the years. And
I don't think anybody understands it. Like, what the hell happened?
I still don't know.
Well, what do you think happened? Like, I mean, I don't want to push you, obviously,
sure,
but I'm curious. It's like, how did that happen? It doesn't make sense to me.
I would like an answer to that question too.
Okay, so are you addressing that with Grok?
Yeah, so
maybe that's the solution. Rather, like, I'm sure the last thing you need is another immense legal battle.
I mean, I'm still considering a legal challenge to at least perhaps to have the court explain to me how an organization that I funded for one purpose can do the diametrically opposed purpose,
and that's okay,
and become a for-profit.
Right.
Please just show me the trail of the breadcrumbs.
Okay, I see why you want to do that.
Because I'm confused, and this
well, it's a
doesn't sound like it should be illegal. If I'm missing something here.
Well, it sounds at least like it should be understood.
At least
that. What the hell happened here?
Yes.
You don't want that to happen, especially given what's at stake.
Yes, exactly. OpenAI is the leader in AI.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Okay. So.
And I'm somewhat worried that they've ingested the woke mind virus in the training. You can see some of that in the output results. We obviously saw that with Google Gemini as well. To absurd degrees.
That was really quite
sort of
the
comical.
miracle.
It said, draw a picture of the founding fathers of the United States, and it's a group of diverse women.
Yeah.
This is a historical event. This rewriting history.
Yeah. No, that was really something. That was really something to see.
Yes.
That was like a jaw on the floor moment.
Jaw on the floor moment, and
wow.
And then asking questions like, which one's worse, misgendering Caitlyn Jenner or global thermonuclear warfare? And it said misgendering Caitlyn Jenner. Like this.
That's a priority problem.
How powerful do you want this AI to get with beliefs like that? And I should, to Caitlyn Jenner's credit.
Yes.
Jenner said, I would really much prefer to be misgendered than have nuclear war.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So there's a limit to all forms of
good for Caitlyn.
That's for sure.
quite sensible.
Yes. Thank God for that.
Yes.
Performing better than the AI.
Yes, but and while it's sort of perhaps funny and ridiculous at this stage, imagine if the AI is...
It's not that funny.
I mean, it's semi-funny at this stage, but it's... the more powerful that AI gets, it could decide that is not merely that it wants to force that outcome, and simply say that
eradicate its performative contradictions, right? And
yes,
act out what it believes. Yes, that actually.
It could conclude society is insufficiently diverse according to its programming, and will simply force that diversity
by whatever means
is necessary.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so That's good. That's good on the AI side for now.
Look, I don't think you and I would make it in that scenario.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah.